Well, I think it's close enough for government work, and so far I'm seeing if my brother Bob has showed up yet, but looks like I'm here by myself, which is just fine. I hope you can hear me on this mic. It's kind of a new toy for me. Getting to where you don't have to strain to hear my voice. Welcome to the 12 Steps in the Red Road. I usually have Ashley or Casey or Bob Hall with me here, but I don't see anybody yet. But I'm still, I see my voice here. It's doing great. Well, what I'm going to do first is to smudge myself, which is always a good idea, especially if we have other people coming in, just to remove any negative energy that might be around me. I've had a tough week, I tell you. I'm coming out of a pretty serious bout with sleeplessness. I think I was with my younger brother, Matt, who just crossed over this week. Matt Penson, Huntington, West Virginia, went back home. And I got lots of condolences when I announced that my brother had let me know that Matt had died from his cancer. And I've heard from Cindy, his wife, who also has a brain tumor and not in good health. So I'll send them my prayers, and I dedicate the healing of this circle and all circles to the living, that we might have hope to go through the tough times and really manifest who we are at the deepest level. I've got a great way that I've found that my life's pretty happy. I'm able to go through the hard times. And that's due to coming up on 51 years without a drink of alcohol, which is really my birthday along with Valentine's Day, when I hand fasted with my sweet wife Mandy. And a hand fast is a ceremony where you promise to stay committed to that person for a year and a day. And when that next year rolled around, you had a re-hand fasting saying, do you want to make a new commitment for another year? We tie the knot every year. Tying the knot. Like I have the red string around my left hand, which is from the Jewish Kabbalah, Jewish mysticism. And we're coming up on December 10th, which is my dad's birthday. My dad was a Sagittarius along with his brother, Don Penson. And I moved out to Oregon twice, once drunk and once sober. I got sober in 1975. And I left the mess I had created in Huntington, think I could run away from it. If I just got away from all those problems, my life would be fine. But I got it here. Just a minute here. I got Bob on the phone. Hey, Bob. Where are you? Oh, well, I started my class. Are you on? Oh, I see you here. Let me let you in. Let me let you in. Dang. Well, I actually let my friend in, but I can't see him. Where are you, Ball? There you are. Can I hear you? I can't hear you. Put your thing off of mute.
I don't see the.
You got it.
Can you? Okay. You can hear me now?
I can hear you now.
All right.
Well, I'm not by myself anymore. Yay.
Yay.
Let me go back up to. Well, I'm happy right here. I don't have to go anywhere. I was just yakking about. It's been a hard week for me because my brother died. My youngest brother died of his cancer,
Mm.
and I just went through. It's about my fourth day that I've gotten any sleep. I was going sleepless for about 8 days,
Right. I remember.
and I think I was somehow connected with my brother crossing over that place where
Yeah.
uh, you're right before you cross over, and I'm sure glad I got through it. That's
Yeah.
all I got to say.
Yeah. I'm so sorry to hear that. Did he have cancer? I forget what he had.
Yeah, he had cancer, and I tried to get him to come out
Uh-huh.
and do some or go to the Raj where they teach you meditation,
You
and
should, yeah.
allopathic medicine is killing more people than. Uh,
Yeah.
but I'm in charge of my health, and I feel pretty good today.
Good.
Good's not a feeling. I guess I would have to say I feel happy, happy
Happy.
and grateful that I got through. But it's a slow going, I tell you, coming back from all that sleepless stuff and going
Yeah. Your body needs to recoup.
because this is the sixth class of a 7 week series. And let me see, how do I get rid of this thing?
What
Oh,
thing?
there we go. Okay. And I got my little mic on.
Okay. Well, you sound good. I hear you.
Well, I can hear you too. I was, I always start with, I don't always do anything, but starting with gratitude.
Yeah.
With December is, today is my dad's birthday, December the 10th. He was a fire sign, a Sagittarius, which is,
Yeah.
and his brother was too. So they were both fire signs. And they were both powerful men. I mean, they were, I had to get away from my dad before I realized I was just like him. And I had to accept all those things I was denying in him.
Yeah.
And I was able to tell him how much I loved him before he died.
Well, that's good.
So I kind of had my finishing with my dad, but my brother was was a child of the Goldwater Convention of 1964. Because my dad was a delegate in the Republican National Convention down there with Barry Goldwater,
Yeah.
Phoenix, Arizona. My dad had a big place out there in Scottsdale,
Did you like Scottsdale?
What's that?
I said, did you like Scottsdale?
I liked where my dad lived. He lived on a golf course,
Okay, I got that on.
and his house was just beautiful. And right behind him was a peak, Pinnacle Peak, I think it was called. So he lived in Carefree, Arizona, and so he had a lot of money,
Yeah.
and he had some beautiful homes all over the country. Down in Fort Lauderdale, he had a beautiful house with a yacht out back. And so he made a lot of money, and so did his brother.
Mm.
And they were always competing with one another. And my stepmom was a Scorpio like me. My brother and I are Scorpios, and we had two half sisters and two half brothers, and all three of the four have died.
Mm.
The last one being the youngest, and that leaves my older half brother Mark
Okay, Mark.
back in Huntington, and me and Mike's still kicking butt. He's a retired colonel. And I'm 85 and he's 87. So,
Wow. Longevity's in your genes.
and he didn't know that Matt had died, so I called him and told him. And I had about 85 people tell me they're sorry for my loss, but I never looked at death as a loss.
Yeah.
I looked at it as, hell, they're going home. We're stuck down here, and they're in the Bardos,
That's right.
that place I know I've studied a little bit of Buddhism thanks to Mr. Bob White, because he and his brother had a hell of a collection of books, and I've got a lot of them. And I'm getting, I think I went through a stage where I didn't know if I wanted to live or die. I think sometimes we hit those gates of wisdom. They call them passages. There used to be this book that Gail Sheehy wrote called Passages. And of course, Maslow has the, the qualities of a peak experience or a transcendental experience. And so I went to graduate school and studied counseling and rehab because I was a damn drunk, hopeless alcoholic that almost killed myself. And this, I remember, I was just recalling my last drunk Christmas in 1974.
My
Well, I
last
got
trip.
sober in 1975 in January. So I had my belly button birthday, and none of my men's group came to my birthday, so I had my feelings hurt. So I kind of pouted and missed one meeting. And I showed back up yesterday,
Oh, good.
and but I think it's really important for elders to tell our story, because your story is going to touch somebody.
Yeah.
And I do these classes, every winter, spring, it's fall and summer, the 4 seasons, the teachings of the sacred wheel, and all these books I use. That's given me a map that's pretty daggone good for
Mhm.
going through the tough times, riding out the dark wolf, learning the beast and the beauty that reside within me. And if I can realize that happiness is not wanting having what I want, it's wanting what I have. So I really value what I have.
Yeah.
But as far as money, I've got enough. It's like I see a lot of people are, in these classes, I have people, what's your top 10 values, the things that you hold most sacred in your life? That's a simple question. And it'll change from time to time. Or I'll give them 5 symbols. Say, rank those in order of your preference. There's a circle, a square, a triangle, a spiral, and a cross. So this is all maps to the not only the scientific world, but the magical world. So, one of the people I studied with that was more healing the male wound was Robert Bly, Michael Meade, and James Hillman, and Men in the Life of Desire. And it was about how men have to have a brotherhood. And we go into the lodge to pray for healing for ourselves so that we might be able to wear all those faces, the facades that we wear, and burn away all the stuff that isn't real, isn't authentic. And you take one layer off and it's like an onion, there's another layer. So you can get off the bus anytime you want to, but if you're going to live a long time, you have to treat your body, your mind, your spirit, and your soul, all 4 of those, equally. And so I was doing a little lamenting that my brother never did it. He would never, he would hide. I'd call him, and he wouldn't call me back except when he wanted something, and he'd call me back. So I couldn't reach him. So I kind of left home. Me and my brother went to military school over in Kentucky, and we had a different mother. My dad kind of fell in love with his secretary and dumped my mother. So me and my older brother are Pratts, which is my mother's side. And the Pratts were from Scotland. So I said, one of the things one of the places I want to go before I die is Scotland. So I was over at Findhorn Community in Forres, Scotland, when 9/11 happened. Because I was supposed to go on a tour of Ireland, and I went over early because I wanted to go to Findhorn. I wanted to go to Edinburgh, some of those places that my ancestors were from. But my dad was a Pinzon, which was Basque. It was a place between France and Spain, called the Basque Country. And the forests that they had all over the world. We've deforested this whole planet, and the planet ain't very happy with it. So I've got those 20 acres out there in Carson that I made a prayer that I wasn't gonna cut any wood. I was gonna take good care of that place, because nature is what's real. Nothing real is ever threatened. That's the Course in Miracles. Nothing unreal exists. So we miss Ashley. She said she had to work late tonight, but she'd be here next week. So,
All right.
uh,
The going away party.
so she knows all the bells and whistles to do, and she moves so damn fast. I can't learn that fast. I have to slow down, lady. So, but she's coming back, and she'll post this thing. I want to send special prayers to my family back in, golly, there's Cindy, and she's recovering from a brain tumor,
Oh, wow.
and they've got four kids, my brother and his ex. She's a doctor, and she's a good woman. She loved my mother. There's always been a little drama in the family between the brothers. Now my uncle's boy, who's my best friend in my wedding, was Butch, lives down on the coast. He's my first cousin. His younger brother just died. And then my older half-brother's younger brother just died. And I tried to get both of them to come to see us, and to learn about Portland, Oregon. It's on a heart vortex. People come here to heal the heart. That's why I named my password is Heartspace. That's loving. Not love doesn't heal, but loving does. Loving is tending to what we care as sacred, what we hold sacred. Well, I hold myself sacred. You just have to start with your first. That means I can take loving care of myself in mind, body, spirit, and soul. And if you got a soul loss, you might need a soul retrieval. And that's things that the magician does, not the logical mind, but in the north direction is the element of air, and it's the winds of change. And I was out there in the hot tub this morning, being grateful and singing songs and watching these hummingbirds come up. It was raining like crazy. And there I was sitting in that hot tub, being grateful for the hot water. And watch these hummingbirds come up and eat out of the feeder that I've been keeping full. I've never seen a hummingbird. And here in the rain and everything else, he's coming up there and eating right out of that thing. And they say the hummingbird brings joy. And so I've been singing all these beautiful Christmas songs, Joy to the World, and Silent Night, Holy Night. How beautiful that song is. In the stillness, in the silence, the sacred grows. So I love Mandy when she's here, and I love her when she's not here. So it's not a conditional thing. I'm telling Bob, she taught me how to keep a plant alive. So that's a big deal for this guy, because I could never keep a plant alive. I am water, but I don't water things. So I'm doing really well. I only killed one plant because I forgot where it was, and I'm trying to nurture it back to life. But we gotta, they said there's going to be all this problem and all these floods and chances of outages of power, and they were blowing it up, but it didn't turn out to be anything like what they predicted. So I got in my car this morning and figured out how to get the beeping off. So I'm coming back after a really hard bout with sleeplessness. And I just can't tell you how great it is to get a good night's sleep. So I go to bed about 7 and watch a little TV there about the last hour, but not always. Sometimes I just listen to music. But I'm coming back, and I'm so grateful. I've been reading these books, The Second Half of Life. That's such a great book.
Yeah.
That's a woman's perspective. Like I've had to learn the men's, but the women's. This is such a wonderful book. It's called The Fourfold Way. That's another Angelus Arian book. And I didn't know who Angelus Arian was, but when I sponsored Reinhardt to come here from Europe and do some concerts, I rented a place out at Still Meadow Community, and so he was here doing Takatina workshops. And I was trying to get it promoted with the news media, and they didn't have time for positive news. So, I couldn't get it anything about something wonderful that was happening in Portland. But it really helped me because I'm the most out of rhythm guy in the world, and I make drums, and I made a drum for a guy. He says, my wife had this drum and it's broken, and I want to get it repaired for her because she's got a very special thing coming up, and I want to gift her this drum. So I remade that drum, and got it done today. And so I'm kind of coming back to I can take care of myself, and at 85, it ain't for sissies. You have to be willing to let go absolutely of all your sacred cows, because the sacred cows are those beliefs that are unshakable. In AA's 12 steps, they say some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas, and the results were nil until we let go absolutely. It says, remember, we deal with alcohol, cunning, baffling, and powerful. Without help, it is too much for us. So that's just what I've come to realize. It's not just alcohol is addicting, work's addicting, and sex is addicting. There's all kinds of addictions. And addictions don't come in plants, they come in people. So, I know a lot of men who retire and die because their whole life is about work, and they don't know what to do with themselves when they. But I said, if you're doing what you love, like me, I do come to those passages. Well, do I want to go on? You know, what's my end of life? I'm working on my will. I've got a friend that I've helped out. She's also a shaman. Went through the whole Michael Harner school. I helped her make a drum and went up to her home and helped her. She and I are working together to put Bear Creek into a trust, and so it can go on after I croak, and set it up where this is my church and that's my retreat center. So we have drum circles out there and healing circles, and I see coffee shops and bed and breakfast, something for the elders that want to come and learn how to make a drum and how to make a rattle, and how to work with their hands and get back in the circle rather than the linear way. One of the beauties of AA, it says there's no leaders, there's only trusted servants. So anonymity is the spiritual foundation of Alcoholics Anonymous. So if I say, well, I give it away because somebody helped me when I didn't have a clue. This old man came and 7 years sober, and he saved my life. And before he died, I sent him a thank you letter. It said, if you die before I express my gratitude for you, I'm gonna feel cheated. I told him how much I loved him and how much he helped me.
Yeah.
And that felt wonderful. That's like making amends. You can make positive amends. You can make negative amends. But part of AA's recovery is you take a searching and fearless inventory of yourself. Because if you're in a relationship, you're apt to take their inventory or somebody else's inventory. As far as the going within time, which is the West, but now we're in the North, and that's the air, the winds of change. Things are changing and the days are getting shorter. And December 21st is when I was over in New Grange right after that trip to Scotland. Nobody could get out of the States because of 9/11. So I went to Dublin. I flew over from Edinburgh to Dublin and rented a car and toured around Ireland for 16 days, going up to New Grange. And that's the place where I wanted to see some of these sacred sites like the Hill of Tara and New Grange. And I love the story of New Grange, because they're all built on ley lines, and those ley lines are the meridians that cut across our planet. And they build their churches along ley lines over there. And they say that all the people who crossed over on the light of the winter solstice, their souls go back to the spirits. Well, I love that story that a lot of people, like the Buddhists, will sit with the dying as they go through the bardos, that area that between death and remembering you are the light. So you're going home, basically. So that's the native way is we are nature. And we forget that because we get in the cities. Well, there's a lot of coffee shops and things in the cities, but when you're out in Bear Creek, you've got to start a fire if you want to get warm, unless you want a huge heating bill. So I had to learn that nature isn't very glamorous sometimes. It cold and wet, and it's hard because you got to prepare. You got to have enough crops. And they had these root cellars, and they'd store all their plants. And they'd make sure they had enough provisions to get through the winter. And as long as you can get through the winter, you're home free. So you might shoot an elk, or my stepdad used to give me a half of a cow, and that'd get us through the winter. So he wasn't my stepdad; he was my first wife's father. He had two girls, and he wasn't very happy. He wanted a boy, and I came along, and we went bird hunting, and he taught me all about tobacco raising, took me to the tobacco markets. He had some of the best tobacco in North Carolina, and he'd take me to where all the R.J. Reynolds and the big tobacco companies, American Spirit, would buy this tobacco. So we go bird hunting. So he really loved me and was going to give me anything if I'd stay married to his wife. But I realized I had to get out of Portland. I was killing myself. So I made my first trip out west as part of a geographical cure, thinking I was going to cure the problem, but I didn't realize I was the problem. So I hit bottom in 1970, in the early 70s was my bottom. My dad finally found me in this old rundown hotel up on East Burnside, and I could stay sober 3 months, now I pronounced myself cured, and go get drunk again. And I did that time and time again, take me to detox. So I guess I had to hit the dark night of the soul, and that reminds me of the winter solstice, going into the darkness. So we got 11 more days. My dad's birthday's today. The two brothers that had a lot of wealth, but they didn't have a lot of happiness. But they brought a lot of beauty in the world, and they competed with each other about who's going to pay the bill. They'd go to great lengths to outdo the other one. There's friendly competition among them. So I've been reading the simple things like the Fourfold Way, and Angelo Saria talks about the North being all the pagan holidays were surrounded by Christian holidays. So the winter solstice was Christmas. That was the birth of the baby Jesus, and all the stories and the summer equinox, the spring equinox, is Easter, and the west is the fall equinox. That's Halloween and Thanksgiving, giving thanks. So we've just been through Thanksgiving. Now we're moving towards the winter solstice, and then we turn around on the 21st of December, and I'd like to think that my brother's spirit and my cousin's spirit are going to go back to the light when that winter solstice happens. Because I never, I announced that my brother told me my younger brother died, and everybody sent me deep condolences for my loss. But I've never really felt a loss when someone crosses over. I say they're home free, but we're still down here. So this is where the action is, down here. So hopefully they'll go back home we keep praying and keep healing, keep regenerating myself from that crisis I went through, and realize physician, heal thyself. So people choose different professions. Like I was a stockbroker. That made me a good alcoholic. But that's what my dad wanted me to be. But did my dad ever buy any stock from me? No, not the first bit. He liked to deal with Merrill Lynch. So needless to say, he was my scapegoat. I got drunk at my dad, and I've dropped my microphone. I hope you've been able to hear me. I got to figure out how to keep this lapel on, Bob. Anyway, keeping it simple is December is we had Ashley read. It's the whole healing days. If you look at the gifts of the air, which is called the intellect. So the West is radical acceptance. That's that book that Bob put me on. And the North is understanding. But understanding always follows acceptance. It never precedes it. So you have to accept it before you understand it. So I had to admit that I was powerless over alcohol and my life was unmanageable before anything could come in. That's the only step of the 12 steps you can take perfectly is I can't. By myself, I'm powerless. And not everybody has the same addictions. I just never liked being around people that drink. It's like there's no deep conversations, it seems like. It's all something happens as people put a spell on themselves if you're around people who drink a lot. But not everyone has the same addiction. I just know my addictions, and if I can go through the hard times and be grateful for my friends like Bob Hall, figured he's going to show up. But if he hadn't showed up, I would have done it alone. So, what you got to add there, Mr. Hall?
Well, it's exciting times for me on one level. And another level, it's really strange times. And I can't honestly say that I've put it together. I've really been working it and drumming. And I'm shifting the way that I drum a little bit and all of that, and just getting. Well, I feel like I'm getting a little bit more creative with what I'm doing instead of being content with what I had, which really helped me. But now I want to go look at other things. So that sounds kind of mishy-mashy, but that's what it is, mishy-mashy. Uh, I am, I live by myself, and I don't have compadres here that share these same things. But I'm finding people that I like in the coffee shop that I've been going to for quite a while. And so this one young lady, she asked me for if I would. She said, because I carry on my conversations whether they understand them or not. I just talk. You know how I can do. Uh, and she said, "You have some wisdom, and I'd appreciate it if you would see me through on this aspect of my life that I'm working with." And then she, she like all of us, beats herself up too much. She's a really sweet, smart woman. Uh, so it feels good getting that, and that gives me some purpose of that. I've met people here I like, but there's a core part of me that, like with, being around Pat and his crew that he has with him, and other friends of mine. It feels where you can get to these deep conversations, solve all the world problems, even if we forget that we did it, so we have to do it all over again. So, but anyhow, that's where I am right now. I don't know if I've added anything, but uh, it's
Well,
just
that's your story, and
that's my story for tonight.
that's your story.
Yeah.
We all have our stories, and if they ain't changing, you ain't living.
That's true.
So, but Bob's the number one drum salesman. He sells more drums than anybody because they want to know more about the drum because they'll always bring them to the drum. And
Yeah.
he can't make a drum, but he sure knows how to sell them and play them.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the one thing is, I mean, I, right now, Patricia and I are solidifying on going to Uganda.
Yeah,
I'm really looking forward to, and I'm going to take my drum with me. One of my drums, just for a space
which
reason.
one you taking?
I'll go. I have 6 drums, and I love every one of them, so they have to talk to me. But
Oh,
I can feel the buffalo drum is saying because it's a tougher
you like
drum.
that Buffalo Prayer. Yeah,
Huh?
you like that Buffalo
Oh,
Prayer.
I love that prayer. It
Yeah,
finally gave me a way I could pray that I didn't feel like I was being, not true to myself.
yeah.
It's just a prayer of gratitude.
Well, that's the thing we have in common. If you're in gratitude, that's the purest form of prayer.
Yeah, yeah. I
So
really feel that. I spend probably 2 or 3 hours every other night just working on gratitude.
yeah,
I use it as a mantra.
well, that's a good mantra.
Yeah.
Om Namah. That's I've been. Ashley went to Tibet. I said, "Bring me back some Tibetan bowls." She came back and said, "They don't make Tibetan bowls in Tibet.
Make them in India.
They make them over in India,
Yeah.
in Nepal." So Uh, I have 3 of those beautiful brass bowls,
Yeah.
7 metal bowls that I have in my living room, and I see bringing them back because that's so important. That vibration, not only of the Andes, which carries the feminine energy, the Pachamama. I had this beautiful Hispanic uh, couple come in yesterday, and they bought $600 and some worth of a beautiful painted drum
Mm.
with 4 horses on it.
Oh, I've got one of those. What
Yeah,
Rose did.
and they said hello from Mexico. I love Mexico. My brother was in the plane business, and he did more business in Mexico because there's a lot of wealthy people in Mexico.
That there are.
So it's nice to have people from other cultures that appreciate you. And I tell you, it makes you. We're down to the last 3 siblings of this generation, me and my brother and my cousin. We, and I'd say we're the elders.
Mhm.
Uh, so I think it's like my 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 daughter uh, is living with her mother here, which is fine. But I want to live long enough to where she can realize who I am.
Yeah.
'Cause,
To see you.
yeah. So I take care of myself. I get up in the morning and I prepare my own food. I've got I've got some chicken soup planned, and I've got all the ingredients for it, so I can put it in freezer bags and eat it within 2 months. To get through the winter, I've got to have a certain uh, type of food because I learned by eating that shrimp fried rice that it gets stuck. I can't. I have to have more soups and juices like buffalo spaghetti sauce or pasta sauce and chicken soup. So I go out and buy the chicken and cook the chicken and make the whole thing. I'm learning. That's like learning culinary skills is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Bob
Yeah.
had us cook with him. Guy living with him knew how to cook. So
Yeah. That worked out well.
yeah,
But I find it, it's interesting that you mentioned the swallowing because I've gone through that transformation myself is where like, I'll take some herbs, 2 pills at a time, and forever because I could always swallow easy. And now I find it harder to swallow.
yeah, yeah. You gotta have more liquids,
Yeah, I have to take a bigger glass of water with it. And it's like,
water.
what's going on?
Well, your air. So your opposite is fire.
Yeah.
So air feeds fire, and water nurtures earth. So you have to walk around the wheel, and the air, the fire, the earth, the water, the mind, the body, the spirit, the soul.
Yeah.
And it's the 4, not the Trinity. It's the fourfold way.
Yeah.
I like that because that's how I make a drum. I had more fun making that drum for that man that was wanting to give his wife a present.
Yeah.
So she loved that drum, and he wanted to get it all fixed for her, and I made a beautiful drum.
Neat.
Took my time, and I, it's like the 5 steps of volition. Remember those?
I remember them, but then I forget them. Let's say it's in, intention, perseverance. Uh, that's almost five.
Intention and perseverance. That's good.
If you count by two and a halves, it's there.
Well, intention, attention, intention,
Attention and intention.
goal setting, initiating action, perseverance, and completion. So that's like I put my hide in the water, I cut out the circles and punch the holes, and that's like a meditation for me. So I start with myself. The first hole is me, and then I go to spirit. That's the red road from body to spirit. Then I come back, and first I tie a knot, and one side is an anchor. That's my anchor, and then I start going around the 16 holes that I make. But I make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then between those make 16. So that's 4 quadrants of 4.
Mm.
So my drum is the 5 symbols pretty much. I added the swirl to my logo,
Huh.
and that was the 5th. That was the twist,
The twist, yeah.
spiral. And I had all, but I didn't have change because the spiral is change. We want things to be stable, but they keep changing. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's the way I feel like I am. I'm just wanting to change, not wanting to change, but sensing to change.
well, wanting leaves you wanting.
Well,
Men in the life of desire. That's nothing real is ever threatened. Nothing unreal exists. So what's real? Well, what's bedrock? So that's where they build their churches, on bedrock. Because if you build your beliefs on sand, those beliefs start crumbling. It's what Grandfather Martin Highbury used to say. He says, you just don't go in and knock people's belief system out from under them. He says, change happens gradually. You have to be patient. It doesn't come to the impatient. So that's persistence. That's like, what do you do before enlightenment? Chop wood and carry water. What do you do after enlightenment? Chop wood and carry water.
same thing.
So
Yeah. I think it's just such an interesting time to be alive.
it is.
And I wouldn't say that there's so many hard things, so much suffering going on. Kids starving to death, and this is in our own country. And it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Well, it's always darkest before the dawn.
Yeah.
So that's,
But, the one thing is, if we don't make the transformation quick, Mother Earth is going to make the transformation for us.
well, that's right. That's what Alan Watts. I love to listen to Alan Watts.
Yeah, he was one of my original readers. I mean, readings that I used to read his books.
Yeah, he says so many things uh, that get me back on track. See, sometimes I get off track, and then sometimes if you just pick up a book and open any page, it's right there what you need to hear.
Yeah,
So sometimes I'm up here and I get all scared, and I go sit in the store, and that grounds me, being around all those drums.
yeah.
Like I got a bunch of books in today, new books.
Oh, okay.
So everybody that comes in my doors says, "Wow."
Yeah, you got quite a place there.
So I'm an innkeeper or a shopkeeper, and my roof's not leaking.
Right.
And I went down there. Usually, in the old days, it'd be leaking like hell. I have to get towels and put it down. But thanks to have a couple of real good carpenters up there patching things,
Yeah.
it's so far it's all this rain hadn't affected
Is
any leakage or any water damage.
is Bear Creek state? Is it dry also?
Well, they went up there and put a new door on my well house,
Uh,
made sure it was, Glenn did.
uh,
Glenn took his brother-in-law up there, who's an alcoholic, but he's a carpenter, and he says, I'll make a door for it. So
oh, good.
he came back raving about how beautiful that place was.
It
So
is.
I don't
It's
know
like,
anybody that goes up there and doesn't see
yeah.
the potential of stopping the genocide that's going on. And it ain't no easy task. Because
Mhm.
I've got, I just heard from Shelley Stump, who's doing my end of life stuff, trying to put that land in a trust and get it set up as a 501c3 or 4.
Uh,
And so there, all the I
things
five,
things that seem like they're kind of beginning to take off.
some things are taken off and some things crash landed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
well, my dad's mantra: when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So you never give up.
yeah.
You just keep on keeping on, and things will change. But that's a tenacity. That's a perseverance. So when I say volition sits in the center of the circle, so my vision is what's ahead of me is uh, going to sleep tonight, because there's one day at a time, and I can't do a thing about tomorrow.
That is very true.
I read a great book called I Touch the Earth and the Earth Touches Me,
Absolutely.
or, or this Hugh Prather says, what makes me think I'm smarter today than I will be tomorrow?
Mhm.
So I make decisions about tomorrow, but tomorrow will take care of itself if I just take care of today. So I leave my dishes pretty clean,
Mhm.
so I don't get up to dirty dishes. So that's a practice of mine. Is I don't always do it perfect, but especially when I was going through those sleepless nights, but I've got my car running good.
Okay.
I'm coming back, and I'm real happy that my brother's uh, funeral services are this Saturday back in West Virginia. I'm not going, but they wanted to know if I had any pictures of Matt, so I sent them a few pictures I had of being back there. He took me on the trip up to Kermit, where the the old Vincent Cemetery was,
Mm.
Vincent's. My dad's mother was a Vincent, and his dad was Penson. And the our if you follow my dad's lineage, it goes to Niza Vincent, and she's the one that lived 103 years old, and she was native.
Wow.
Her name was Deskins, Nancy Deskins, and they actually the child's name was Doeskin or Deerskin,
Mm.
and in the family Bibles they would adopt these native kids because they had scalped, they'd kill the parents and they'd give them to these Irish and Scottish families, and they'd take them in, write their name in the family Bible.
Mm.
So it's beautiful to. My brother did a lot of that because he's the son of the American Revolution.
Mm.
But I had pictures of my brother, and I know my brother was with my dad. Matt was with Dad when he died. He's the one that put him down the last time when he died.
Mm.
And I was with my mother when she died. So it's kind of like he's gone back home now. My stepmom, I loved her. She could stand up to my dad. My mother couldn't. She
Yeah,
wasn't. He screwed her big time. But I realize everybody's got a beast and a beauty in them,
for sure.
and but I don't want to project it until I own it. So I know I'm one of the gifts of the North is uh, learning lessons of things that end. Freedom. I love the gifts of the North. They're freedom from fear. I mean, that in itself, freedom from hate, freedom from love, freedom from knowledge. So that's like Rumi. It says, out beyond right and wrong is this place, I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
So there's a countenance that you have that's where the wisdom is. So in that simple serenity prayer, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I can't change. I can't change tomorrow. Bob Hall can't change what I say tonight. Uh, Courage to change the things I can. Well, what can I change? My attitude. So beginning with gratitude, feeding the white wolf, they call it.
Yeah.
That's in the north is the buffalo and the horse. The horse is also in the north.
Yeah.
So the Mexican family that bought the 4 horses, they asked me the significance. I said, well, that's a dark night of the soul, terror, bewilderment, frustration, and despair.
Mm.
They all come visiting on the dark night of the soul. the four horsemen of the apocalypse.
Yeah.
So the horse is a symbol of the air, the winter, the north. The flying horse, Santa and his flying reindeer, who ate psychedelic mushrooms.
You know, in the medicine cards, the horse are considered the messengers of the god.
Yes.
I mean, of goods of spirit. You know, carrying the messages to humans.
Well, we heard Michael Meade tell that story about the horse of power.
That's right. It's a great story.
It's a great story. It's a Russian folk story about the power of the horse. The horse always has enough sense to tell him what to do. He said, "Don't pick up that feather." I have to have that feather.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. It's so life's full of lessons, and it's 20 to 8. We have one more class coming up to the winter solstice. I'm starting to get into Christmas and Christmas carols
Yeah.
and candles. And
Well, are you having any problems with the rains in the North Washington area? Is it any of that getting down to above you on your land?
well, all that wet weather went north.
Yeah, look, I saw some fierce pictures, and I knew it was further north, but I didn't know if any of that was working its way down to y'all.
It's not in Carson. I've got a camera up there. I check on the place, see what the weather is.
Yeah.
And Glenn's been up there. Uh, he's taking care of the place. Says he's got a buddy that's going to repair all those leaks in the roof.
Oh, well, good.
We've got another buddy that's an electrician. So he's kind of taking.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff you don't want to get wet.
I know. I know. Well, Mark just moved all my shit up there and just scrunched it up so he had space to do what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I still can't find half my stuff, but I'll 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 get through the winter because Mandy's coming in January, and
What part of January? Yeah.
well, she said she's going to be here about 6 weeks, so
Oh, wow. Good.
that's a good visit. I love her. Um, uh, she's an amazing woman. She knows about those birds. She's got. I dreamed her. I dreamed she was coming in my life. That's what's significant about it.
Mhm.
I don't keep many drums for myself, but sometimes one will come up, and that one up there. It's got the black and white raven.
Mhm.
See it up there?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Well, that's the dream I had, that this dark-skinned woman's going to come into my life. Well, Mandy showed up in my life, and she was actually a friend of the woman that I had as a nanny for my little girl, because I had to have a nanny or I'd get the damn flies are coming in here. Turn that light off. Uh, where was I going with that?
With
Nanny.
and the nanny.
Oh yeah, Mandy. I dreamed she was coming, and she's she's taught me a lot about letting love in, letting it in. You got to have an income coming in and going out. Like money doesn't mean a whole lot to me now. It's like more is better. No, that's not necessarily true.
Mhm.
It's, I have enough. I'm grateful to have enough. And realizing the richest is the most generous, not the one that's got the most.
Yeah.
So that's Bob and I's Lynn Twist's books.
Well, yeah.
Uh,
I still tell people about her concept and how she put things and how she wanted to have clean money coming in. When she first starting off her fundraising for Africa, and she had $100,000 check from a CEO of some company that had gotten basically got a fine from the city or however it worked out that he had to donate $100,000 to charities, and he gave her a check for $100,000, and then she went to New York City to a real poor Baptist African American church, and it was talking about raising money for Africa, and these were really people that were really poor. Their church was in a basement of some building, and this woman said, I don't have much, but I'm going to give you $10 right now, and I'll just work overtime. And that was one of those things that just clicked for her.
yeah.
That's who she wanted to get to, you know. And I think it's hard. Rich people are scared that people are going to take their money.
Some.
I think quite a few are.
Well, that seems to be.
But that's just my experience. I don't, I didn't work with all of them like you did.
Well, I know some rich people,
Yeah.
and I know some that are miserable, and I know some that are happy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the happiest one says, I want to give all my money away before I die. I'd like to leave with zero.
Yeah.
So, but nobody has any money to give away. You have money to invest. And so, what are you investing your time, talent, and treasure into? So,
Yeah.
that's what my uncle used to say. He says, "You ain't got enough money to hire me, 'cause I ain't for hire.
Yeah.
I'll work with you, but I ain't working for you." So, and he was only as good as his last campaign. He says I turned down 3 out of 4 people that interviewed me. I end up interviewing them because they think that somebody's going to do it for them.
Yeah.
But that's
Wise man.
it's hard for a rich person to get through the needle because it's the most generous that gets through the needle. It's the giving your gifts. Until I made a $500 pledge for 3 years, $1,500, I wouldn't give any money. But when I made that my own pledge, I was able to go ask other people to give.
Yeah.
But and if you
Yeah.
everything follows commitment.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It really does.
So let's see, what time is it, Bob?
It is
It's
9:50
10:08.
my 8:50 your time. Oh no, 7:50 your time.
Well, I hope that we're still recording. So, you know, I did smudge at the very beginning before you came on. So I'm ready to wrap it up.
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Uh, I'd like to thank everybody. We'll have one more class next week. Um, Love to have your comments, and we'll see you next week.
Okay.